The movie starts out with an absolutely crazy battle scene, and we see this one guy at the top kicking everybody's butts.
They called him Death Singer.
Oh, here we go. First, we get a little intro from a boy named Thalius about the Great War that happened 100 years ago. Basically, the world is called Ardonia, and the Ardoni, or the colorful dudes, can use something called songs, which basically gives them superpowers. There are 4 prime songs, which grants whoever holds them the ability to use all other songs at once. And because of that, they were too powerful and split up, yada yada yada, but then everything changed when the Nether Nation attacked.
The Ender Knights returned during these dark times, long having been guardians of the overworld. The two opposing realms clashed with a fury of inconceivable power.
Not even the Ender Knights could stop them, so the Ardoni held a tournament to see who would take the prime songs into battle. A guy named Ingressus won, but turns out he's from the Voltaris tribe, so they didn't give him the songs. But in typical evil fashion, he killed all the leaders and took them anyways. Now he's called the Death Singer. Eventually, an Ardoni called the Tide Singer rose up and defeated the Death Singer, but also died in the process. Peace was back, and the prime songs were returned. Whew, did you get all that? Pretty much all you need to remember is that there's an evil Ardoni named the Death Singer who used the prime songs to nearly take over the world, but was defeated by the Tide Singer. Got it? Cool. Let's move on. Now we're back to the present, where Thalius, this blue Ardoni, is being told that the Voltaris might be on the peak of a mountain, conveniently the same mountain where the final battle between the Death Singer and the Tide Singer took place. Thalius has been hunting the Voltaris since the Great War ended. The Voltaris are basically a clan of red Ardoni who were kicked out for being evil or something. They also sided with the Nether during the war.
I should ride to Mount Velgrin and see for myself.
Hold up there, Thalius. I feel it is my duty to accompany you and record what information we find.
No, don't go. This guy's name is Hawken. He's a scholar. He can't fight.
Fear not, Thalius, for I am prepared to fight.
Yeah, he's gonna die. Also, in this shot, we get to see how tall Thalius is. If a normal Minecraft character is about 6 foot tall, and he is nearly a full head taller, then Thalius is well over 7 feet tall, and that is being conservative. The two journey to Mount Velgrin. That's the place that they're going, by the way. We get to see a lot of the world, and honestly, it looks really cool. The awesome part is, this was all built in Minecraft. I'm pretty sure the world is available for download somewhere if you're interested. Regardless, they arrive, and yep, the Voltaris are here.
I found their supplies.
How peculiar. Why would they leave their belongings where others might find them?
Because they are still here.
Here we meet Tigran Voltaris. An interesting thing to note is that any given Ardoni's last name is just the clan that they're from. He's Tigran Voltaris because he's from the Voltaris clan. Thalius is from the Sendaris clan, so that's his last name.
Your sword has slain many of my brothers, and once I killed you, I will take it and slay twice as many of yours!
Sheesh, that was straight fire. It's hard to notice here, but Thalius manages to get a cut on Tigran's arm. That's why he switches hands. It's Minecraft, so no blood or whatever, I get it. Thalius' song looks like some sort of teleport or dash attack. It's never outright said what it's called though. Tigran starts absolutely bodying Thalius and Hawken comes to save him. Unfortunately, he can't sword fight. I told you not to go.
So many years have we prepared for this, and you are not about to interfere.
My goodness, one banger after another. I'd run from him too. Another thing that's important. Technically, this was written and released as a 10-part series, and this is where episode 1 ends. Personally, I think it's better as a movie, especially with the giant prologue we get at the beginning of this episode. Each episode is only about 10 to 15 minutes long, so the prologue takes up half of it anyways, and leaves just barely enough time for us to get acquainted with a few characters and villains. I'll note where each episode starts and stops though, just because that's how it was originally intended. The next episode opens up with these two rays of sunshine. Jalkar and Grim. Later on, he's called the Reaper, so he might literally be this world's version of Death. They never really explain why Grim is stuck with Jalkar in this season, it probably comes later. Basically, the two are trying to steal a stone. Not just any stone though, it's actually a dragon egg.
Is redstone wired? It was wired, run!
Yeah, of course it's booby-trapped. Did you not think it was? So the guards start coming and they gotta escape. Also, not gonna lie, Grimm's pretty dope. He's strong.
We did it, Grim! I'm gonna be rich!
Grimm, what are you doing? Well, actually wait, technically they are the bad guys, so I guess, suck it Jalkara, you're stupid. Here we have the real main characters, or at least one. The white Ardoni's name is Sen, and the blue one is Rhea.
Oh, are you alright, Sen?
Okay, I see you, Sen. Got that pond riz. The two of them long for adventure, but aren't allowed to go out on their own. Luckily, Thalius shows up. How convenient. What are you doing, Sen? No. You guys are kids. Oh, whew. I thought he was trying to get that ring by Spring. Thank goodness he's just giving her a dangerous weapon.
If Father sees this, he's going to take it away.
Then I'll make you another one.
Dang, go back in the water. You're cooking too much. Oh yeah, Thalius is here.
Your father would not approve of this training.
I know.
And he definitely would not want you to have what I'm about to give you.
There is absolutely no respect for Rhea's father in any of these characters. I know he hasn't been introduced yet, and he's a very minor character, but still, bro was done dirty. Anyways, Thalius gives them the songs.
It is our unique ability to harness their power. To deny their usage is to deny the very thing that makes us Ardoni.
The Ardoni are the only ones who can use songs. I'm assuming after the Great War, the usage of the songs decreased because there were no large enemies. Or maybe the Death Singer was so scary that they stopped handing them out in fear that something similar would happen again.
Will you teach us how to use them?
Patience, young ones. First, I have some very important business to take care of.
Wait. You just handed two children nukes and walked away? I mean, I know they're not really nukes, but what if they use them incorrectly and blow something up or kill someone? That seems like a poor decision for someone so wise. Osivian, Rhea's father, finally shows up and yells at Sen for meeting with his daughter. Turns out there's a huge shortage of female Ardonis in the world, and Rhea is one of the few remaining. I wonder why. It'd make more sense for there to be a shortage of men because of the Great War, right? Ardoni lived for a long time. Like, Thalius fought in the Great War, and he was actually in the tournament at the very beginning to decide who would wield the prime songs. I guess it also depends on how often Ardoni are born, or hatched, spawned, crafted. It is Minecraft after all. Regardless, Rhea's special because of her gender. Dang, they predicted that a few years early.
I wish you would respect my wishes.
Brother, there is very little respect for you going around. Just ask anybody here.
I raised you as a member of this clan, even though by blood you are not.
Oh, that's why Sen is white. He's clanless. It's weird and not explained in this season. Sen gets sent to his room where we can see all his smithing stuff, some bookshelves, and just some diamond ores laying around. Man, go sell that stuff and get out. Surely there's enough value in the diamonds to take you anywhere you want. You might even be able to sneak the girl out too. Instead, he just stares at his tesseract-looking thing before going to bed. Now, this is not the end of the episode, but we switch up and meet Lucan, a guy in jail for some petty crimes. But because of his good behavior, they're letting him out early.
So, that explains the cake. A celebration.
Don't touch my cake.
Come on, man, don't touch his cake. Lucas has been assigned to mining duty, which he is not happy about. He does steal some cake, though. Also, he just walks out. Isn't he still a prisoner? Can he just leave? Is this whole place locked up? And why is the warden in there unprotected? I'm getting off topic. Back to the Ardoni. Both Rhea and Sen try to sneak out and use their songs. The structure here is some sort of ritual place for them to ingest their songs or something. I don't know how it works. It's another thing that we don't get to see until next season. Rhea then decides to pull the "I'm one of the few remaining Ardoni females and you're clanless, it would never work out" card. Girl, what the heck? You don't like him because he's white? I've heard that one before.
You'll probably want this back.
Okay, first, the inventory will never stop being hilarious to me. Pulling out a giant spear from nowhere? Can't say I've done that before. And second, the spear is not an engagement ring. Why are you trying to give it back? Sen says no and that he made it for her. He ends up walking Rhea back to her room. Even after being rejected, he's still got game. But then he notices Thalius and Osivian talking. Thalius tries to tell Osivian about the Voltaris, but Osivian says that without proof, there's nothing they can do. Thalius finds Sen eavesdropping and decides to take him with him, wherever he's going. The episode finally ends with another girl, Abigail, finding the dragon egg while she's out hunting. Fine episode, pretty much introduced all the main characters for this season. Thalius and Sen's plotline starts to move forward, while other ones just start. Let's keep it going. We meet Lucas ranting about minors, the underground ones, not the underage. Anyways.
Another legally obligated minor here to do service.
Oh, how did that make it through the editing process? Lucan meets Eddie, the guard assigned to protect him. Unfortunately, Eddie's drunk. I'm sure it'll be fine. Why is he missing a shoe? Where did it go?
Oh, you get used to hearing strange sounds down here, Lucan. I hear them all the time now.
I'm sure you do, Eddie. I'm sure you do. Why would you try to catch that? Okay, well, now they're being invaded. That's fun. Also, Eddie dies, by the way. He tried his best, I suppose. Good luck, Lucan. Oh, look at that. We've moved on to Abigail. You know what I want to point out? They spell Abigail like this, with 2 B's. I have never seen it spelt that way before. Doesn't mean anything, it's just interesting. Anyways, she takes the egg and brings it back to her home, hiding it from Mr. Finch, an old farmer that takes care of her because her parents are dead or something. Of course, he finds the egg, instantly recognizes it, although he calls it a dragon stone. I don't think anybody actually realizes that it's an egg, probably because the Ender Knights haven't been around for 100 years. He takes the egg inside and Abigail goes to eat dinner, I guess. Meanwhile, Sen and Thalius are headed south. That night, Sen asks why Thalius returned to Sendaria. Thalius shows Sen that he needed to get the Prime Song that Osivian was protecting. They moved them from the masters of each clan after the Great War, so their location wouldn't be so obvious. Alright, I think it's time for a breakdown of all 4 song types. The 4 types are Mobilium, Aggressium, Saporium, and Protesium. The yellow ones are the Mobilium and give the Ardoni movement abilities, like Thalius' dash move. Aggressiums are attacking moves like we saw Tigran use. The other 2 we haven't seen yet, but here's pretty much what they do. Ooh, that's a bit of spoilers right there, actually. Stay tuned. Thalius finishes explaining that he believes the Voltaris clan is returning, and he needs to make sure they don't find the Prime Songs, and that's why he's moving this one. Here we meet the cat people. I'm glad this is Minecraft, otherwise it would have attracted a very different audience.
Can you describe in detail what happened in the mines?
First, I saw this.
You kept it? I mean, I guess it's proof or something, that makes sense. Alright, never mind, you're fine. Because Lucan still technically owes them service, he was tasked to investigate the undead shenanigan, which is a horrible idea. This man has no experience as a detective or a warrior. He's gonna die. He doesn't, by the way, but still. Meanwhile, Abigail is out doing whatever Minecraft farmers do in this world. Wait a minute, that wheat's not fully grown. There is absolutely not enough around to make that amount of bales. That night, some guards roll by asking if anyone has seen the 2 thieves or the dragon egg. Mr. Finch bluffs his way through it, and Abigail becomes super possessive over the egg.
Abigail, what are you doing?
They were coming for the stone.
I know. What, you think I would hand it over like that? Abigail, careful with that. Everything was fine until you came in here and messed with it. You know, it was through reckless actions like this that your parents got themselves killed.
Ouch. That was unnecessary. Oh, now she's having a vision about the end and the Enderman being killed by the Nether forces. She probably had a poisonous potato for dinner and it's giving her weird dreams. Nothing to worry about. Welp, Jelkar and Grim are back. Can't say I felt sorry for him. And Abigail wants to fight. Why? You have a stone sword. Ooh, dang, look at those moves. He's flexing on you now. Okay, now she's winning. That's unexpected.
Not bad, kid. But I don't have time for this.
Oh, never mind. Man, that was a roller coaster. So Lucan is being stalked by a girl. How does he know to roll away? Good reflexes.
A Felina?
A human. That would explain the poor eyesight.
Oh, my eyesight is bad? You attacked me first!
He's got a point. Also, the cat people are called Felinas, if you couldn't tell. Lucas was trying to draw out the necromancers, which was stupid because what are you going to do when they show up? Kill them? I don't think so. Eventually, the necromancers do show up, and Lucan runs. As expected. He sees the Felina girl climb up a tree and follows her into the treehouse.
Why'd you follow me?
Man, he's barely said 3 words to her and he's already being taken back to her place. What is it with these characters? Lucan talks about how he's not a warrior or a hero and is just trying to survive in life. He sounds like me in today's economy. He offers to work with Nika but gets rejected. Oof. Everyone is getting so close and then getting shot down. Now, jokes aside, I think he asked Nika for help because he honestly doesn't know what he's doing and doesn't think he can do it alone, which is true. Also, I'm pretty sure this is an apple he stole from Nika. He doesn't eat it though. I can't tell if that's character development or coincidence. The next morning, Lucan tries to convince Nika to work together again.
What was your name again?
Nika. Don't slow me down, Lucan.
Thalius and Sen are continuing their journey into the human kingdoms. They pass a group of Magnarites who are known for being super aggressive. Boom, right there. That's the skin of one of the guys who works for the YouTube channel that made this. I don't know if he worked on this particular project though. And there's the rest of them. That's the director and the co-director of this movie.
We must be at the end of the world by now.
Sen, we have barely crossed a fifth of Ardonia. We've not even left the north.
Here's the world map for anyone interested. Here's where they are now, and here's where they started. Abigail is actually super close by, and Lucan is down here somewhere. Thalius and Sen use a beacon to literally fast travel to the other side of the map to pretty much the world capital. The world used to be ruled by the Ender Knights, but the people rebelled and they got their freedom. Recently, 2 nations went to war though, so there's that.
Thalius and Taris.
Solomon.
Rude. We get another glimpse of the Ardoni height difference because both Sen and Thalius have to duck to get in.
Keep your nose out of trouble, kid.
Solomon makes drugs. There's no other way to put that. He does underground potion brewing, and that's why Thalius believes he has the skills to keep the Prime Song safe.
Can you safeguard this?
Yes, I've got it. Will that be all, Thalius?
Man, this guy better be good. To this day, I still feel like he's going to sell them out.
I don't trust this guy, Thalius.
See, Sen gets it. To end off episode 4, Abigail decides she's going after the Dragonstone and runs off into the distance. As someone who lives on a farm in real life, I don't see what's wrong with that way of life, but good on Abigail for realizing that that's not what she wants to spend her life doing. Is it the smartest option to run into the forest after a thief who just beat you up and the literal Grim Reaper? I don't think so, but that's what she did. Nika and Lucan are out that night trying to catch necromancers.
The Felina female who was with you the other night. Where is she now?
Which night are we talking about? I get my Felina girls mixed up.
Alright, Lucan, we all know that's not true. Nika jumps Necromancer and they steal his outfit so that Lucan can wear it into the Necromancer hideout. They also have a short discussion where Lucan tells Nika to take the Necromancer to the Riverstead prison. Nika, of course, questions how Lucan knows there's a prison there, and Lucan conveniently decides not to mention that he was in jail there. Remember that, it comes up later.
A lifetime of wielding songs has had certain adverse effects on my health.
So this is intriguing. It means that Ardonis can't just use songs willy-nilly. It actually takes a toll on their bodies. That's good balancing, and probably one of the reasons why Ardoni don't just take over the world. Sen asks Thalius about his past and if he knew his parents. Thalius says that the Voltaris killed Sen's parents, and he was the only one of his siblings who he could save.
But no one would accept a clanless child. Apart from Osivian. He raised you and cared for you.
Oh, this is a really touching moment between these two. We also figure out why Sen is white. He was never initiated into a clan. But what does that mean? I don't know. Are all Ardoni born white? Why can't he be initiated now? We see the Death Singer at the very beginning appear to switch colors. I don't know. None of this stuff is probably warranting of a paragraph like this, but here we are at the end of the paragraph.
Not this girl again! This time you deal with the girl, I'll get the horses.
I know Grimm is supposed to be bad and evil, but come on, what's not to love? They get chased out of the horse paddock and make a run for it. Turns out that the farmer they were stealing from is one of Abigail's friends, Darlene. So Abigail and Darlene go after them on horseback. Darlene explains to Abigail that it's not a stone, but a dragon egg, which was pretty obvious to me. I mean, it looks just like the one from Minecraft.
Your home is just ahead.
This was quite an adventure, Thalius.
Sen, wait.
things are getting spicy. Unfortunately, this is where episode 5 ends, so we gotta cut back to Jalkar and Grim. It turns out they're selling the dragon egg to the Voltaris.
Or we could just kill you and forget the reward.
This could be unwise, Zenaida. The mute one. I believe he is the Reaper.
Sorry about that. Oh, my goodness, that was violent. I'd listen to him. Y'all are gonna die. And yeah, they do die. Jalkar ends up collecting the song from the Voltaris leader and now needs to go find another buyer for the egg. Abigail shows up afterwards and finds out where they were going from a surviving Ardoni. What's he gonna do when they ask him to summon zombies or command them? He's got no idea how to do that.
I expected you would have learned by now. I presume you're the new rookie.
Oh, okay. I guess that's what they'll do. Lucan is taken back to the Necromancer base. It's underground and full of lava. We also get a shot of what appears to be the Necrolord. And can we take a moment to appreciate the designs of these weapons? I mean, look at the axe. All of these were hand-designed by the creators, and they look phenomenal. The Necrolord has the body of a wither, or at least a staff that looks like one. Though, given how it glows and appears to give him control over the dead, it's probably more than just a fancy stick. Also, notice only the creepers are in cages. I wonder if that's intentional because they're not technically undead and have a tendency to go boom.
Sen, wait!
Oh right, I forgot. Sen's village was burned. Okay, sad faces everyone. Thalius tells Sen to wait outside the village, a command which he instantly ignores.
We have to leave. Now, we will go to Ataraxia. You will be safer there.
Ataraxia. That's a name to remember, by the way. Yup, you guessed it. It was the Voltaris. This show was good in pretty much every sense, but oh boy did they cook with the fight scenes. It's got some of the greatest choreography in any media I've ever seen. I don't know if you noticed or not, but this Ardoni is a different shade of red than the other Voltaris. I'm not sure if that means anything. Let me know down in the comments if you know.
I noticed you moved the prime songs. I need them. Look what you made me do.
Just made me do, look what you just...
Sorry. You can unsubscribe now. I deserve that. Oh, he's got a red one too. That's new. We get a Tigran Thalius rematch that ends like this. I wonder what would have happened if Thalius hadn't stayed to fight, if he had just ridden away with Sen to Ataraxia. I guess we'll never know. I also wonder why Thalius didn't carry the other two types of songs with him. He may have survived if he'd had a Protesium song. Maybe it would have been too much strain on his body. This is where episode 6 ends too. Big ending, but Lucan's got arson to commit, so let's go over there. He was tasked with burning down Nika's tree fort, but after he tries to stall, is discovered. Luckily, Nika's there to save him, but one necromancer gets away. Like usual, I'm sure nothing bad will come of that. On the upside, literally in this case, not figuratively, Nika's treehouse... Wait, why on the... Why did I say on the upside? That's not good at all. Nika's treehouse is burned down. Wait a... none of that matters now, because Lucan was at the Necro base and knows where it is, so they can attack.
I guess this is, where we part ways.
I should accompany you to Pelora. They might want some of my information as well.
Where could I get me a cat lady like that? What? Huh? Did I say that out loud? Sen has a sad moment when he realizes that his family is really gone and that he is alone, but instead of sulking, he remembers a place Thalius mentioned. Ataraxia. See? I told you it'd be important.
One of them Magnarites is on the edge of our town. I don't think you belong here either, huh? Why don't you get that Magnarite to leave with you?
Here we see a prime example of racism, or speciesism, I guess. What I'm about to say is a very dangerous sentence. Racism is bad, but in a world like this, humans are nearly at the bottom of the food chain. Ardoni have their magic songs, Magnarites are massive and nearly indestructible, Felinas have claws, I guess, but humans have none of that, and I get why they don't want these type of people around. Please don't cancel me now. Sen talks to the Magnarite and turns out he's a great guy, not at all like what everyone always describes Magnarites as. His name is Igneous and he likes to read. They both decide to leave and look for Ataraxia together.
Here we are, journeying...
Give me the horse, now!
Oh, excuse me, sir, but this horse belongs to my friend Sen over here.
Yeah, Igneous, you get him. I like how everyone is just shocked at Igneous' strength. Like, even the horse has a moment. The Kingdom of Felden officially declares war on the Necromancer army. Good. Took them long enough. Lucan is told to take a message to a nearby fort so they can gather troops to attack the Necromancer.
They actually said for both of us?
Yep. Looks like we're stuck together for just a bit longer.
Lucan, you sly dog. They talk a bit about having no plans for the future, just like me, and they head off to deliver that message.
Songs of war, adventure, and magic.
Those same people used to worry about legends such as Herobrine.
Don't say his name.
Sen buys some food from the bar but gets laughed at by this guy, and told to leave too. This part never made any sense to me. This guy is talking about days of magic and mysticism, and when two magic and mystical creatures walk in, he treats them like garbage. I feel like he should be begging to talk to them and stuff. It's just weird. They go to a map shop where they get more racism and end up with no map. This is the third time in the last 10 minutes where they give more examples of the anti-Magnerite mindset. It's a bit much in my opinion. I think if they removed the bar scene, it would have been much better.
It's ridiculous. And how are we ever going to get to Ataraxia without a map?
You can borrow mine for a moment.
Wait a minute, is that the crossing of two storylines I sense? They use Abigail's map to locate Ataraxia and tell her they saw the Dragon Egg Thief not too long ago. Then they part ways. This scene is a nice touch because it's easy to forget that the different storylines are in the same world at the same time. Having them intermingle occasionally is a nice touch, at least until we get further into the story where they integrate fully.
What a nice person. Shame we didn't even get your name. Oh well, off to Ataraxia.
I love Igneous. Speaking of separate storylines, Lucan and Nika have arrived, where they meet...
Kiyoshi?
What? That's not Kiyoshi. Kiyoshi is a 7-foot-tall woman who mastered all 4 elements 300 years ago. Who is this imposter? Lucan and Kiyoshi seem to have a bit of history. They insult each other a bit. Nika learns that Lucan was in jail a while ago, and turns out he has to serve Kiyoshi under that attack. How droll. Throughout this entire video, I've been explaining things in the same order that they appear on screen for the movie, and unfortunately it does lead to a lot of cuts between storylines as the show jumps from one group to another. Do you want me to keep it that way, or should I splice it up so that it's less jumpy and more time for each story? I'm going to keep it like this for the rest of the video. If you have an opinion, let me know in the comments for future reference.
Sen, another thing about Magnerites, just a little something. I don't think we can swim.
The Guardian tries to steal Sen, but Igneous is too strong for the one. So they get the whole gang together and yoink him underwater, where he proceeds to get his mind read from the Big Daddy Elder Guardian. Oh right, that's where episode 8 ends, by the way.
Well, I guess this is it. It was nice getting to know you, Nika.
Yeah.
And you just leave? You didn't get any contact info? No, where can I find you after the battle? Actually, wait, why isn't she going? She's a great fighter. This is a mistake. And they set sail, and I'm pretty sure that's the last screen time Lucan gets for the rest of the season. Which is fine, because we're starting to wrap up anyways. I think this is the Sendaris Master, and he's burying Thalius, as we can see by the markings. It turns out that the Valtaris didn't just attack Sandaria, but also the other 3 clans in an attempt to get all the Prime Songs. Thankfully, Thalius had moved them all in time. So, reluctantly, they prepare to fight. Not a full-scale army, unfortunately, as the Ardoni are quite weak as a nation now.
Many years has it been since we last wielded the Songs of War.
Let us hope we remember how to use them.
Ooh, we're coming up on the climax. How long have I been recording for? 33 minutes? Okay, actually it's not that bad. Back to Sen getting his mind read and spat back onto land. No idea what that was about, but the road appeared, so it must have been good.
I've had enough of you, girl!
Dang, he ain't playing. Also, Sam falls off a cliff. R.I.P. dog. He had to die so she could get her dragon baby. What? Come on, it's pretty obvious that was gonna happen, right? Oh, now she ain't playing. Sorry, Jalkar, but you killed her Minecraft dog. This is the law. I like the detail of how the arrow pushes through slightly when he falls against the ground. Ataraxia is an Ardoni city, which is pretty cool. The only Ardoni civilization we've seen before this is the small area where Osivian lived, and this one's got floating rocks, so it's better. We catch a glimpse of the green Ardoni from earlier recruiting for the attack. The guy in yellow here decides he's not going to join them because he believes they're thinking too small. Attacking the Voltaris at Mount Velgrin won't solve the problem, and they should prepare for a world war or possibly an interdimensional one.
Have you come for fresh tools? Or do you require repairs of your own?
No shot, he's alive?
Thalius?
Thalius is my brother. I am Gallius.
Ah, dang it, never mind. This is a really heartbreaking scene. Sen tells Gallius about his brother's death, and Gallius reacts accordingly. Gallius tells Sen that a war is indeed coming and they need to prepare.
We will not get any help from the kingdoms, with Cydonia and Carthan locked in their conflict.
Perhaps I can help with that issue.
What do you mean? How? Respectfully, you're a nobody. Who would listen to you? Anyways, he just kind of dips immediately. Alright, we're running out of time. We're on to episode 10, the final one. The dragon egg hatches for Abigail. Told you, the Felden troops arrive at the Necro base only to find it empty, and it turns out the Necro people have already marched on Felden, and now Nika's gotta fight all of them, or something. Actually, you know what? I'll let Gallius explain.
At this very moment, the armies of Felden have begun their war against the Necromancers. A dark shroud will soon spread across the kingdom of Felden. The Ardoni clans have called many warriors south to exact revenge on the Voltaris and destroy them once and for all. Your friend Igneous travels to Carthan to settle a civil war between two kingdoms. And, most exciting of all, there have even been reports that the first Ender Dragon has been hatched in over 100 years.
I love that part. Starts to tie everything together for the next season. Of course, it doesn't end yet. We've got one more, arguably the most important scene to cover. The Voltaris appear to be trying to activate this portal, only to get interrupted by the Ardoni warriors. As they fight, the portal starts to open, and lo and behold, we see what appears to be the past, looking back at the fight between the Death Singer and the Tide Singer. This is the greatest fight scene in the movie, the two most powerful fighters in the world going all out. It's a masterclass in song wielding too. The Death Singer acknowledges that he has lost the war at this time, but that portal is actually a time machine and he's going to travel to the future and resume the war once Ardonia becomes weak. He knocks the Tide Singer off a cliff and walks through the portal, leaving the Prime songs behind so people think he's dead. And that's the end. Of course, there's an end credit scene of the Tide Singer not actually being dead, so that's cool. Unfortunately, none of this really matters, because Season 2 and 3 never got put into development. Didn't get enough funding, which is a huge shame because this is a 10 out of 10 series. I'll link the video about the future of this series as an end card so you can understand what the creators' plans are for the future. With enough support, they may restart work on the rest. It's a possibility.